Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. I start by praising Allah and asking Allah to send His peace and blessings on His final messenger Muhammad. I want to welcome you to our class. I want to remind you that we are studying the core aspects of Islam, the Deen RoadMap, in which we're looking at the belief in Allah. Now, in the last class and the one before that, we were looking at logical arguments in the belief in Allah. We also looked at counter arguments. And I want to add one part here. Just because I'm mentioning these counter arguments, it doesn't mean that they have any weightage. But I'm mentioning them because these are some things that you may come across in society, online, and so you should understand how these things are baseless. Yesterday, we also looked at the fact that there must be only one creator. There must only be one creator behind this universe. And on this point, I want to give you one more piece of evidence using our logic to show how there must only be one creator. One thing that we can see from the universe is we can see the universe, the one who created it, must be extremely powerful. Because look at us, look at the earth, look at the solar system, look at the sun, look at the galaxies around us. The one who made this must be powerful, and we would use the word all-powerful. And this is logical to believe, that the Creator must be all-powerful, because everything we know in the universe, He is created, and the power that you need behind that, this means that He is the all-powerful. Number two, when we look at His creation, we talked about the most amazing camera, our eyes. We look at our bodies and in their functions, and we just as human beings, look at the other creations. Look at the animals, look at the insects, look at the systems that Allah has made, look at the solar system and the universe. And one conclusion that you will come to is that the Creator must be all knowledgeable. He must be all knowledgeable. And number three, we can come to the conclusion that the Creator is all knowledgeable, the Creator is all powerful. And we can see that the Creator is different from His creation. He must be different from the creation. Why? The creation is needy. What does needy mean? The creation needs food. If I don't get food, if I don't get water, what's going to happen? I will eventually die. This is a characteristic of the creation. And if we look at the Creator, He is above this. He doesn't need any of this. So the creation is needy, so the Creator must be not needy of anything, self-sufficient. The creation has a beginning. Remember this. As a human being, I have a date of birth and I have a date of death. And that is the case of any creation. Whether it's the sun and the moon, whether it's the universe, everything that is created has a beginning. And so the Creator must not have a beginning. So the creation is needy, the Creator is self-sufficient. The creation has a beginning, and so the Creator cannot have a beginning. The creation has an end, and the Creator can never have an end. And the creation are many. There are many human beings. There are many insects. There are many solar systems. But there must be only one Creator who is behind all of this. This is one way that we can also come to the conclusion that there must be one all-powerful, all-knowledgeable, self-sufficient Creator who neither has a beginning, who neither has an end, and who is only one. These are just some multiple arguments that we can mention about how we know that there must be one Creator. Now, one thing that you should remember, brothers and sisters, this Creator that I've mentioned, a creator who is all powerful, a creator who is all knowledgeable, a creator who is separate from his creation, a creator who is one. Which religion on the face of the earth shows you that this is the creator? And when you look at the different types of religions, when you look at the different types of beliefs, you come to the conclusion that Islam is the only religion that has the belief in God that agrees with your intellect and that agrees with your heart as well. Both of these things go in sync. And we will speak more about this. We'll mention some religions later on as well. But this is one thing that we should remember, is Islam is the only religion. There are basically two types of religions in the world: polytheistic and monotheistic. Polytheistic are religions that believe in many gods, and monotheistic are religions that believe in only one God. The polytheistic religions make no sense. They go against logic to believe in multiple creators, and we spoke about that. Religions like Hinduism and religions like paganism and different types of tribal religions of the past. And then the religions that are monotheistic are Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. And when you study these religions, you realize that they are actually one religion originally, and that religion is Islam. The religion is actually Islam. The original religion of Christianity is Islam. The original religion of Judaism is Islam. But over time, these were changed. And so the form of Christianity you have today, where they worship Jesus, Isa, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, you can see that they've gone into a type of paganism. And with Jews, they still believe in one creator. However, they have changed their teachings over time, and they have changed certain beliefs that were taught to them about Islam. And one other very important aspect is Judaism is not for all of humanity. It is only for a particular tribe, a particular group of people. And we will speak more about how Islam is the universal religion when we go a bit more into the religions around the world. But this is some things that I wanted to mention with regards to the belief in Allah. So let's review what we've learnt. We believe that Allah is the creator. We believe He's all-powerful. We believe that He is the one who created us, and He has no beginning and He has no end. And we believe that this belief is only taught properly in Islam. And so this is one of the main reasons that Islam is the religion of Allah, because it teaches us the correct belief about Allah. This is one thing to keep in mind. Now, number two, I want to mention another ayah, another verse of the Quran. But now, brothers and sisters, you may have been thinking, so many logical arguments, just so many different arguments of using logic. And some of you may be thinking, there's no need for this. I believe in Allah, right? And this is the reality, we do. But we're just going over these to cover and give arguments for those who may have questions. There's another aspect I want to look at, and this is one of my favorite ayat to look at in terms of belief in Allah. Allah mentions in Surah Zumar. Surah Zumar, this is ayah number 29, and Surah Zumar is the 39th surah of the Quran. Allah gives an example. Allah sets forth, I'm just reading the translation, Allah sets forth the parable of a slave owned by several quarrelsome masters. Quarrelsome meaning they're fighting with each other. And the second example Allah gives in the ayah, and a slave owned by only one master. And then Allah asks, are they equal in condition? And then Allah ends the ayah by mentioning, praise be to Allah, in fact most of them do not know. Now, what can we learn from this ayah? Allah gives the example of a person who has many masters who are fighting with each other, and a person who has one master who he has to listen to. The question to you and the question to me is, who will have an easier time? Who will have an easier life? Would it be easier to please multiple people who are fighting with each other? Or would it be easier to please one person only? Let me give you an example. Say a person today, a teenager or someone going to university, they have pressure from their friends. So they have to listen to their friends. Their friends are saying, you have to wear this brand, and you have to wear these clothes, and you have to go to these parties. That's one pressure. At the same time, you have people who are telling them from their family, their parents. They're telling them, you have to do this, you have to dress this way, you have to get up at this time, you have to do this, you have to do that. So he's trying to please his friends, he's trying to please his parents and family. Then, at the same time, he's also looking at society. Society has its own pressures. Society expects you to do certain things. So he has to listen to society. Then the same person, he goes on social media. On social media, he's watching different influencers. He's looking how they're going on holiday in different places. He's looking at how they're living their lives. And so he feels obliged to follow these influences as well. So this person, he is following one, he has to listen to his family, he has to listen to his friends, he has to listen to society, he has to listen to people online. And then there's one person, brothers and sisters. Do you know who he has to listen to? He listens to Allah. He has submitted himself to Allah. Who do you think will be happier? And the answer is very simple. You cannot please people. You can never make people happy with you. Okay. And the answer is really simple. You would only be happy by worshipping and listening to Allah. You can never please people. You can never make the friends happy and your family happy and society happy and influencers online happy, but you can make Allah happy. This is one thing that I would want to mention to you. Make Allah, make God, the one who you truly worship, the one who you truly submit to, the one who you truly impress, not people. And when you do that, you'll see that you'll become free and you'll become happy. You'll have a more fulfilled life. Because whether people are happy with you and whether people are not happy with you, you know that Allah is happy with you. And I should add, Allah tells us to listen to our parents. If our parents are telling us good, for example, if our parents are telling us anything, even if it's something small, but it's not something haram, we should listen to them. So this wasn't the example, I didn't mean by listening to your parents, you shouldn't listen to them in good. What I meant was how people in society have different people that they almost create as lords that they listen to. So this is something that we should keep in mind. Now, let's move forward. We believe that there's a creator. We believe that He is one. We believe that He is our Lord. Now, there are some people who say, we were created, this earth was created, but maybe there's no purpose of life. Maybe God just created us and there was no reason for this creation. And this is an illogical belief. The purpose of life, there must be a purpose to life. And I'll give you an example. Number one, who is more knowledgeable? The creator or the creation? And the answer is very simple, the creator. Who has more wisdom, the creator or the creation? And the answer is very simple, the creator. Who has more knowledge and who has more wisdom? It's the creator. Okay. Now, do we as the creation, do we make things without purpose? If you look at this room, you have chairs, you have fans, you have a carpet, you have technology. Any of these things created by human beings, are any of these things without purpose? And the answer is no. So if the Creator has more knowledge than us, and the Creator has more wisdom than us, and we don't make anything without purpose, how can we say that the Creator made the universe and made our bodies without purpose? This is an illogical belief. So I hope that makes sense. It is illogical to believe that the Creator made us without purpose, because we have smaller intellect, we are limited, and we don't make anything without purpose. How can it be that the Creator made something without purpose? I'll give you an example. Look at the shoelace on your trainers, on your shoes. When you look at your shoelace, you will see that it has a plastic piece around it. Now, what is the purpose of that plastic piece? It's so that you can tie your shoes properly, and so it can go into the hole of the shoe, and you can tie your shoes properly. Now, brothers and sisters, if that piece of plastic has a purpose, how can you say that our eyes and our ears and our brain, which is more complicated than any computer that we have on earth, and our heart and our bodies and this universe that God has created, Allah has created, how can you say that that shoelace has a purpose, but we don't have a purpose? So there must be a purpose to this universe. There must be a purpose that we have. Another way to look at it is this. If you look at all of our needs, they're all met. We have some physical needs. We have the need to drink water. We have the need to eat and drink. If you look at the earth, you find plenty food and you find plenty water. We also have the need to socialize. One of the worst punishments that you can give a person is solitary confinement, when they're in a prison on their own. Why? Because we are social beings. A person will lose their mind if they're inside a prison not talking to someone for years and years. We have a need for socializing, and Allah has created us with families, with uncles and aunties and cousins, and we have families, and this is a need that we have and it's fulfilled. We have the need for the opposite gender, physical need. And you see how Allah has created men and He's created women. He's created male and He's created female. Every need that we had, Allah has answered. Allah gave the need for water, for food, for socialization, the need that whatever we have, they've been given to us. Now, there is one more need that I didn't mention. There is a need for us to know what is the purpose of our life. Is there a need or not? Look at those people who have everything. Some people, they have all of the cars. They have all of the money in the world. They have whatever influence that they want. But brothers and sisters, these same people, some of these are celebrities. They are committing suicide. They are taking their own lives. And why? Because they feel hollow inside, because they don't know their purpose in life. One of our needs is that we have to know, why are we here? Why am I here? Who created me? Remember right in the beginning, in our first class, we gave that example of waking up in a train. We would ask ourselves, who brought me here? What am I doing here? Where is this train going? In the same way, this world that I'm in, who brought me here? Where am I going? What's going to happen after death? These questions, they can only be answered by Allah, and He can only tell us. Now we can't use science. We can't know the purpose of life further than this unless Allah communicates to us, unless Allah tells us. So the next step in our logical progression of belief, of our steps that we're looking at, is we believe that Allah is the only creator, He is one. We believe that He must have given us a purpose. And number three, He must have communicated to us. Allah must have communicated to us and told us what is the purpose of life. He must have communicated to us and told us what is the reason that He created us. And so this comes to another example, which is really simple to understand. Imagine a washing machine, okay? You go to a shop and you buy a washing machine. Now we as human beings, we create something that we call a manual that would explain to you, this is how you need to use this washing machine, this is how you turn it on, this is how much clothes you put in, this is how you use the washing liquid. And we create a manual. This is us human beings. And if we are logical, and if it's a good company, for example, what you'll find is some companies, they even send a man or a woman, they would come to your house and they would show you how that washing machine works. Now, brothers and sisters, if we as human beings create something and we have a manual and we are showing you how to operate it, doesn't it make more sense that the creator of the universe, the creator of us all, He must have shown us the purpose of our lives? And so now when we look at the belief in Allah, when we look at the belief in the Creator, we see that the manual that He has given us is the Quran. And in the past, there were other books that He gave. And not only did He give us a manual, He also showed us how to live our lives in the best way. And that is through messengers. Men who would show you how to live your life, how to apply the teachings that were mentioned in the books. And so let's go back to what we were looking at in belief in Allah. If you remember the hadith where the angel Jibreel, he asked the Prophet, peace be upon him, what is Islam, what is Iman? And the Prophet mentioned that you believe in Allah and the Malaika, the angels, and the books, and the messengers, and the last day, and predestination. And so if we look at this, we've covered actually a number of parts of the articles of faith. We've looked at the belief in Allah, and we've seen how there must be a purpose to life, and we've seen how Allah sends messengers, and how He sent books. And so in our next class, we're going to delve further into this and look at the Quran that Allah sent for our guidance. We will look at how the Quran has a miracle and how the Quran is a miracle from Allah that shows us that this is from the Creator. Apart from this, we're also going to be looking into who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. We're going to be looking at an introduction of Allah Himself in the Quran by looking at Ayatul Kursi and other aspects of the Quran as well. So let's continue this journey of understanding the roadmap of our Deen. Inshallah, we will see you next class. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.